Talk loud, talk loud.
It started with Mick read for every role. Right. Well, we looked at her flash for a minute, but he literally read for every role. He is the one person, I believe, who read for every role. Okay. Jamie was just, he's either going to be Cody, he could be, no, he's either going to be Cody or he's not going to be.
Dodge the bullet.
Ross?
So Ross was he just came in and really felt like Chris to me from the beginning, which is weird because he was playing this really goofy guy, but he's kind of a little bit of a serious guy off camera. The girls are very special to me because I felt like as the only woman on a creative team, I kind of had to look out for my girls. But they were all amazing.
And she did.
Oh, thank you. I loved you guys. And they were just great. Nicole came in, she was sweet and so angelic. We all had our tongues like hanging out of our mouths. And Katie was also gorgeous and funny. And Victoria, you put up with some really, really bad wardrobe choices. I'm so sorry. Yeah. You know, the pink furry vest, I owe you. Anyway, and she did it all with good grace. And Jessica came in and literally had 2 lines in the pilot. And she said, "See ya, Shepherd." And we all fell on the floor. We just died and just fell in love with all of these guys. If I left anybody out that I didn't mention, they all were wonderful.
Now, we looked at, I think, 22 different people for Romeo. We literally looked at 22 different people trying to find someone who could be cool, fall in love with, over 6 feet. You know, there were a lot of things, and he was literally, I think, the last. We thought was like, finally. Finally! Oh my God, he can actually act. No, that's good too. We didn't care, but the fact that he could was a true bonus. And so that's sort of how it all came about. I think over like 3 days of at least the first time in Montreal, and then a couple times in Toronto, and then. But we ended up taking that picture, and we all went back and looked at it. The picture that Jimmy talked about, and we lived it for many, many moons. Also, in that, someone is not here, Erin Sims, was whatchamacallit. Morgan.
Give Morgan a round of applause.
She also was one of those people, sort of like Jamie's like, well, she's either going to be this one role or she's not going to be. But she was also in that picture. And it was at that point in time, I think we lived with her for about 3 days, and just looking at the picture eventually told us who everyone was.
Excellent. All right.
You know, as I look at your unaging, immaculate faces, and we spent some time together over the last couple of days, tell us, what's your headspace going on right now? You guys are all together. Some of you haven't seen each other in years. How is this? Are you guys happy? Like, are you guys blown away yet? Do I have to keep convincing you? Let's hear some feedback.
This is mind-boggling for us, okay? Anyone who's in the business will tell you that getting a job, even a one-day job on TV is amazing, okay? Getting one that lasts for a couple of years.
It's literally like winning the lottery.
Yeah, it's a 1 in a million shot, okay? Doing it like that, getting a job that lasts for a few years, and having it be a fun time and get along with everybody, you know, that's another miracle. 20 years later, that you guys give a that you came, we really appreciate it, okay?
And I'm sure everybody here wants to know, we knew what you were like at Edison High, but what were you like in real high school?
Katie.
Very rebellious. Almost got expelled 5 times. No, my daughter's here. Don't. My boys. No, I was, yeah. How about you? No. Rebellious, but likable.
You would never imagine that coming from Katie. She's the sweetest thing ever. I was very different than Grace in high school. I'm more like Grace now. I've always been very clumsy. I'm still clumsy. I don't know if you guys noticed me trip coming up the stairs. But in high school too, I was a bit of a troublemaker, and I did get kicked out of a free school. But I had a big heart. It's just that I was a very adventurous type of person, and I like to experiment.
I like that she was experimental. I wish I had been in her high school.
But actually, what a lot of people don't know about me is that I may have been in the popular gangs, but I was such a closet nerd. I used to hang out in the back of comic book stores with a bunch of like guys playing Magic the Gathering and D&D.
Speak up, handsome.
Oh, sorry. I didn't get good grades, really. And didn't really study that much, but I had a good time in high school.
I was the opposite of Romeo in high school. No friends, quiet. I have some friends now. And, the main thing, I think Jamie and I shared this in common as well, is that theater was really the thing that sort of brought me out of my shell, and I thank that experience for eventually allowing me to, to go on acting and other stuff in front of the camera, which I would have never imagined when I was in high school.
Ross is actually an amazing theater actor. We were part of this troupe called Kids in Action. And I just have to say it, Kids in Action brought a lot of us younger people together in the acting community in Montreal. It was run by Natalie Gauthier. And and it was kind of like the Mickey Mouse Club. And so some of us knew each other from there when we got onto student bodies. And Ross was a superstar of Kids in Action.
You were a bigger star, Victoria.
No.
I was gonna say that I was so different from Flash because I think I was pretty serious and like artistic, and I mean Flash is very artistic, but I was like introverted and a bookworm and loved doing plays too. But now I remember that I used to be, I can't swear, right? Okay. I used to be kind of I stirred up trouble sometimes in a Flash-like way. I just remembered that I did this thing that's so Flash. I sent the same vaguely sexy note, exactly the same, to like 10 guys in my class. We coordinated it so that they all opened the note at the same time and just watched as they all thought they were the only one that got the note. And then met at recess to tell each other they got this note, and then they all realized they all got the note. I did that. So I guess I had that Flash thing in me all along, and probably still different.
I was not one of the cool kids at all in high school. I had a lot of friends, but none of us were the cool kids, so we all had that in common. That was a lot of fun. But I did, actually towards the end of high school, things changed for me a little bit because I got cast as the lead in the school play, and then a really hot girl decided to be my girlfriend after that. And I just kind of fell in love. So I was a bit of a romantic back then. I think talking with Mike and Judy, Victor and I had that in common. And that girl is my wife today. So. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. So awesome. You made me cool for a couple of minutes. And, it only takes one person to look at you and think that you're cool to make you feel that way. So she did that for me and gave me the confidence that I needed to go on and put myself out there, and I've kind of been doing that ever since.
Oh my.
which is where my family is from, and it was kind of like a weird choice. I did one semester of high school here in Toronto and hated it, and went home to visit my dad who lives there for a Christmas holiday, and just decided, I'm gonna go to school here, and that's what I did. So school there is very strict. You know, we wear uniforms, and they're literally measured with, you know, a ruler to make sure that they weren't too high or too low. It had to be just right. Academics were very rigorous. So I was pretty serious and pretty focused, a lot like Emily in that way, except that I was coming from this background. I was a child actor, and I had been on a couple of television shows here before I moved there for high school, and I had grown up going to schools for the performing arts. I went to Minnie Claude Watson. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. And I danced, and I loved to like do things in the arts and perform. And so this sort of started to come out slowly and reveal itself to people like my classmates and my teachers over time. And so I was like the go-to, whenever we had to do something creative and performance related, I was like the go-to person. So I ended up being like my school's like creative director for a while. So it provided a little bit of balance for me in that way, which was great, because I got to hang on to that part of myself even though I was really serious about school. And it also made me realize that when I was done, I wanted to come back and pursue acting. And Student Bodies was the first job I got after high school.
The long and the short of it is this. High school was good, the plays were good, and, you know, were pivotal in the long run. But it was nothing compared to Anderson High. I'll tell you right now, this high school was a lot more fun than my first time. That's all I can tell you.
By the way, I just realized I said I got kicked out of high school. No, it was elementary school. High school, I was really good in high school. I just wanted to correct that, because I just realized I sounded way worse than I was. I was good in high school.
She's a very badass 9-year-old.
Exactly.
Come on, baby.
No, she did it.
You did it? Yes.
You're first. All right, everybody. I know you all want to ask questions, but before that, we were asked online in Student Bodies 20. Do you like Student Bodies 20 on Facebook, everybody? Are you telling me the truth? Yeah. Good. Like it twice. Anyway, they asked us a few questions, and a lot of them reverted to, what's your favorite episode? So let's just get that one out of the way, because it was asked like 7 times. So, yeah, democracy. There you go.
There you go.
I like the Elvis episode. I loved watching it. I like being a part of it. I don't know what. It was always, I watched it and watched it. I loved it. I loved that we got to dance. And I loved your outfits. Definitely, that was my favorite. Yes.
I really liked the episodes where the cast would sing, because it would suddenly we were like, whoa, they could sing. Like Jamie sang this awesome song called Boy and Girl, or Girl and Boy, I can't remember. And what was it? It was, what's it called? Does it really love me? And anyway, it was like all these little talents would come out, and we didn't even know about them. So it's kind of spread out. I used to love that in the famous Snowed In.
Yeah.
But there's too many. It's too many. 65 episodes, a lot to choose from. It was always fun.
Yeah, it's very tough. To me, it's like one giant 30-hour episode. Whenever I'm asked, like, certain things come to mind, Mick and I were living together during part of the show. We were roommates, and we pitched Joe and Paul, 2 of the writers on the show, if we could do an episode where we lived together, because the shenanigans that were going on in our actual apartment were so insane that we thought we should do that. And they did it. They wrote us an
Seriously, you guys aren't asking the right question.
No. We had, it was a really good time. We said we'd love to do an episode, so they wrote us one, and that was really great. But I don't even like saying that, because they were all really good. I can't choose one. You choose one.
It's hard. I mean, Bad Girl Emily is obviously one that is a favorite because it was just so outside of the box for my character. And we had a lot of fun, like, going through all the possibilities of where we could go with that. And Snowed In is a favorite of mine. What else?
All the times we made out.
We recently watched bloopers at Mick's house when we first got here, and we didn't realize just how much making out there was in that show. Like, really? And I think, who was it that really got to make out a lot? Was it Ross? Ross made out with everybody.
What, you want me to comment on that? Proof is in the video, VHS or whatever it is.
Yeah, there were so many episodes that I loved. I had a really fun time on Victor Gets Drunk. Pretty fun episode. I saw how over the top I could go. But I think my favorite experience might have been the road trip episode. It was actually just a really, it was fun to shoot because it was the four guys in a car in a high school gym with a green screen. But also it was kind of a turning point for Victor because up to that point he was such a loser and he was so much on the outside and he seemed so desperately to want to just hang out with these guys. And that one episode we finally got to, and there's a moment at the end of the episode where they say, basically they say, thanks Victor, and he's like, yeah, like I care, and then he turns around and just does one of these, just to show like finally, I got to fit in. But that was a really fun episode to shoot, and I think it was, not only the existing chemistry that was between the four guys at the time, but that episode might have even done more to cement that chemistry, which has lasted for 20 years and our friendship with him.
My dream came true when Judy and Mike and our writers wrote me the Dead Men Know Good Edison episode where I got to be like a Lauren Bacall in 1940s Femme Fatale in the black and white episode.
That is one of my favorites too, and you're so good.
I just started being exposed to those films and I thought those were the coolest hair, the best looking costumes and hair and everything. So that was such a dream. And then of course we all got to do the Buffy the Vampire Slayer segment of that too. It was super fun. And Nick and I went to get fitted for our contact lenses, and the optometrist told us to go outside and make sure we could see in the sun. And we just walked around scaring people. I think there was a guy handing out biblical literature. So that was good.
So many to choose from, but the ones that you guys have mentioned, Dead Men Know Good Edison, that was so much fun doing that scene with Flash, the film noir thing. I remember we did watch, what movies did we watch together?
We watched The Big Sleep, right? And Double Indemnity.
Yes, Double Indemnity. So we watched that to try to replicate some of their movements and the way they spoke, and so that was a lot of fun. Snowed In, of course. Judy, you wrote that episode, did you know it? Yes, you did.
Yes.
You know how Mick mentioned in Road Trip, that was also a favorite of mine, how his character sort of made a bit of there was a bit of a change there in terms of how he was received. In that episode, in Snowed In, Chris is actually a nice guy to Victor. There's actually a scene where he's out helping Victor out. And I thought that was sort of an interesting take. And of course, it's called Snowed In. I became a meteorologist, so I have any episode, of course, where I got to kiss anyone.
For me, yeah, Snowed In was one. Also, in a road trip. And there was an episode, me and Emily kind of agreed on an open relationship. That was pretty cool. And then also the episode when we had the interrogation scene.
The Max Secret Fire.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
He actually hurt.
Me, I got that.
We strangled him. No, Rob strangled him.
That was the ultimate. Yeah. No, we
You know, one of the things that we used to do on set is our entire crew, we didn't have a live studio audience, we shot in a school, and our entire crew was primarily French speaking. And Mike and Judy and Alan and the other producers were kind of away in the principal's office, literally in the principal's office, where they were like writing the scripts and watching us on monitors. And so the only way we would ever know if we were any funny is by, if we were funny, is all trying to crack each other up. And we would take it further and further and further and further until at one point they said, just get it out of your system. Go as far as you possibly can and we'll shoot it. And in that interrogation scene where basically they're interrogating Victor to see if he was Mag's secret admirer, they went to town. And I went so over the top, and then, and you know, they're shaking me, and I like hurt my neck, and knocking water on my face, and then Jessica comes in, and Ross and Jessica have this kiss that goes on for 3 minutes, and she is climbing on top of him, and it is so insane to watch now, but we actually have footage of it, which is crazy. It never made it into the show, but it was, so you guys would never have seen it, but it's pretty funny, and it was a very fun thing to shoot.